just
Welcome into Talk of the Town right here on C19 TV. Tim Foster in for Steve Putnam this week. Great to have a gentleman that we've had many times before, a good friend of ours here at C19 and mine, past president for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Cleveland County, Jack Weller. Jack, always good to have you.
thank you. It's always good to be here. It's an opportunity to share about the Boys and Girls Club and what the kids are being, or what we're doing at the club. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
We're into May, and we've got a lot of great events in May and
Yeah.
summer. Let's talk about, let's go with the
Well,
golf tournament.
the first thing we have is May 22nd, and it's a golf tournament. It'll be at the Cleveland Country Club. Brad Moffitt, Dr. Brad Moffitt at Carolina Chiropractic Plus is coordinating that, and he's already filled the field with 34 teams. But what we're looking for now is if people would like to, they could go online, go to the website and register and be a whole sponsor for $200. And the opportunity there is that you're going to have over 130 golfers at the event.
Wow.
A way to advertise your business, or more importantly, to support the kids at the Boys and Girls
And it's going to
Club.
be, where will it be at?
At the Cleveland Country Club.
You said Cleveland Country Club. Yeah, great place to have this event.
Yeah, and this is the 28th year that we've done it. And
Yeah.
this year we hope, our goal is to raise about $40,000 to $45,000. And we can do that if we can get folks to be whole sponsors and support us that way.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting time. A big crowd out there. Is this a
Yeah.
shotgun start type of deal, or is this just go? Yeah, okay.
And again, you have 34 teams. You'll have staggered starts on the par fives and go from there. And
Yeah, are
then-
you on one of the teams, Jack?
No, I'm one of the people that's just helping to move stuff around.
Yeah, but you're not a caddy.
No,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I
Yeah.
could ever be a caddy.
Yeah, well, the reason, if you were a big golfer, I was going to see if you get us some Masters tickets for next year. Yeah, everybody's always asking where you get. Good luck trying to find those, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that golf tournament, and of course we'll have the website up where folks can do that. But it's a great event, Jack.
Oh, it is, and it's one of those things that Rich Berkowitz used to coordinate that, and Brad Moffitt took it over. But what strikes me is that we have probably 20, 25 teams that have played probably the last 10, maybe 20 years in the 28 years that we've done
So
the
you've
event.
got folks that have been playing this since the inception of the event, right?
Right.
Well, that'll be an exciting time. What else is going on, Jack?
Well, we're starting to sell our raffle tickets. And if I say car raffle, it's only because for 40 years that's what it was. And then the last 4 or 5 years, we haven't been able to purchase a car. We raise $50,000. We sell 500 tickets at $100 a piece, and that gets you $50,000. But you can't buy a car. You would end up giving $25,000 to the dealer. So our goal is, what we do is we give away $15,000 in cash, and then we have other prizes every 50th number. And you don't have to be at the event to do that, but it's going to be held June 14th, which is Flag Day this year.
Right.
It'll be at the LeGrand Center. 5:30 it'll start with a meal, and then 6 o'clock we start drawing the numbers, and by 8 o'clock we'll know who won $15,000, and then we'll have a silent auction items, and then we have some live auction items. And the one thing that I always, and then I apologize for getting a little emotional.
Sure, no, it's okay, Jack.
But I guess it was almost 12 years ago that Elwyn Stillwell and
Yeah.
Philip Philbeck both
Yeah.
donated one of Philip's pictures, and Elwyn had it framed at Victorian Rose. And
Yes.
we sold that the first year, and Elwyn was trying to say, if you can raise $300, that'll sponsor a kid. Well, of course, costs have gone up in that time frame, and but last year the picture, I think it was Bradbury Road,
Mm-hmm.
sold for $1,000.
Yeah.
So and it's just a way that Tracy Stillwell, Elwyn's daughter, and Philip can continue to help support the Boys and Girls Club, and you walk away with a very beautiful piece of art, and
Absolutely.
that's the part that I can't thank Philip and Tracy enough for being able to continue to do that, because it is the kind of thing they're giving up something that they could probably sell for. And,
Yeah.
But it certainly helps the kids at the club.
Yeah, and let's talk about we may have mentioned the raffle date, maybe not.
Yeah,
June 14th, is that
June
right?
14th, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you can buy a ticket. I don't think it's set up on the website yet, but at some point, if you go to the website, you can buy a ticket online.
Yeah.
But normally, our board members are selling those tickets. And the interesting part is that all 500 tickets have been sold every year. So we already start with the people that bought it last year and ask them to buy it, and many of them will rebuy.
Yeah, and that's pretty awesome.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think Bill Harrison, our producer, was going to put up that website
Yeah.
up on the screen, which I believe is BGC Cleveco. Is that right?
Yeah.
.org.
Yeah.
That you can, and there it is at
yeah.
704-471-2582.
Yeah, that's the club's phone number.
Yeah, that you can get more information. And I think we're going to momentarily we're going to be seeing some pictures, but let's kind of move make the
Okay.
transition from those events, and those are your raffle, your big golf tournament. But let's talk about summer with the Boys and
Okay.
Girls Clubs, because I
Wow.
think of the impact that it makes on so many kids, Jack.
Well, this year it's even more special, and for years we've had what we call the Jack and Ruth Schweppe Summer Day Camp, and this is named in honor, in memory of Jack and Ruth Schweppe.
Yeah.
Jack was the first board president of the Boys and Girls Club, and his wife Ruth continued to serve on the board after he passed away, and we named the camps in their honor. And the day camps are they'll start as soon as school's out, and they'll go Monday through Friday, like 7:45 to 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be at the main club, which is on Sumter Street. We'll have one at the Teen Center, and this year we've added 3 camps. That one of them was at Kaiser. We had in previous years at Kaiser Elementary, but we'll have one at Foston Elementary and at Boiling Springs Elementary. So we have 5 opportunities for children to come to camp. In the past, we probably served about 100 to 150 kids.
Sure.
With 3 new facilities or 3 sites, it should be closer to 250. So
Right.
we're excited about that, because it's the kind of thing. It's just not common. Let the kids run around the site there at whether it's an elementary school playground or our playground. We'll talk about careers. We'll have people come in and talk about careers. Like
Sure.
one time we had a medical technician came in, and she had the gowns and the masks and everything that
Yeah.
the kids wore. And then, of course, you want to do things like the City of Shelby Fire Department and the EMS and the Police Department will come over and talk about those opportunities, because one of the things you want to do
Right.
is make it enrichment. It's not just fun. Now we'll go to the pool, and the city park will work with us to go to the pool. But then the other part is that the Cleveland County Memorial Library, which is right up the street from the main club,
Right.
they'll opportunities for the kids to come in, and they'll read stories, or they'll have activities for the kids to do. One of the other things that is fun is that they go on field trips, and again, this could be the teens have come out here to Cleveland Community College and gone through all the different job occupations, like the
Yeah.
plumbers and
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because we have a lot of summer camps out here. Yeah.
the welding and auto body and electricians. And they all like the robots. Of course, that's in the new Tim Moore
Yeah,
Advanced Technology
Center, yeah.
yeah.
Right
So
up on campus.
So there's some opportunities for kids to learn.
Well, the thing I love about it, Jack, is there's always something for the. I mean, you guys,
Yeah.
you don't take 3 or 4 hours off.
No.
You guys are constantly going.
Yeah.
And the other thing I love is how the community gets involved, even to the point we saw some pictures earlier, some Gardner Webb football players
Yeah,
with the kids.
yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Well, one of the things that Gardner Webb has partnered with the Boys and Girls Club in several cases because the NCAA requires every
Yeah.
player to have so many volunteer hours.
That's
so
correct.
The football coach just appreciates that. And Tim Kraft, when he was coach at Gardner Webb, used to
Right.
bring the basketball team over, and he'd have his team run some layups in the gyms to make it look like a practice. And
Sure.
then he'd said, "Okay, guys, now we're going to talk about head time." Because
Sure.
one of the things that you find out is a lot of these athletes started in a Boys and Girls Club. Either they played basketball or they were on a Pop Warner football team or some other kind of team. And they can relate to these kids because they look at them, they see themselves when they were 5 or 6, 8 or 9
Sure.
years old.
Yeah.
So it's a good experience to
Yeah.
keep them grounded.
And the kids see an individual that was where they are right now,
yeah.
and now they're a professional. They
Yeah.
may be a coach. They may
Yeah.
be a business owner.
Yeah,
They may
right.
be running their own restaurant, and
Yeah.
it's just, the impact's huge.
Yeah, and one of the things that we try to do is especially at the teen center, we say there's 3 things we want the kids to be able to do. We want them to be good citizens, we want them to make healthy life choices, and we want them to have a plan for their life. In other words, when you graduate, are you going to go to college? And it doesn't mean you have to go to a 4-year school. You could be here at Cleveland
Sure.
Community College, or you could decide I want to get an occupation, and so I could be coming to Cleveland to learn welding or plumbing or those kind of things. And then the third thing is we'll work with a child or a student if they decide they want to go in the military, and the recruiters are very, very helpful to. And again, of course, you'd say, well, that's what a recruiter's supposed to do, but they try to make sure that student or that person understands what's it mean to be in the military. And it's either a 2 or 4 year commitment. And we have
Sure.
had several students go through and now very successful. They're on their 2nd and 3rd enlistment. So
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Jack, we're about out of time, so I want to just again, let's talk about the golf tournaments coming up on
May 22nd.
May 22nd.
in
and
Cleveland Country Club.
Cleveland Country Club.
Love to have whole sponsors. Again, it's the kind of thing, our 3 lead sponsors, Teddy Makins and Talbert was one of our lead sponsors. David Teddy was Youth of the Year in 1976.
yeah, going back a few years.
Yeah, but Cleveland Chiropractic and then Thrivent Insurance out of Gastonia is also one
Sure.
of the lead sponsors.
And then talk a little bit about June 14th and the raffle.
Yeah, June 14th. If you have been part of the Boys and Girls Club raffle in the past, contact your board member, let them know that you're ready to buy a ticket. I'm sure they've got the tickets. And again, what's unique about that is many of those people buy the same ticket every year,
Yeah,
the same number, and so
it's very special.
yeah. Well, one person's won twice, so
Well, that's pretty good luck.
that's a reason why to
That-
get that 2 tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, check it out. Go to the website to check things out. There you see it, bgccleveco.org to find out all the information. And Jack will have you back and find out how the raffle and the golf tournament went. I'm sure it's going to be a success.
I'm looking forward to it.
Jack, thanks for being here as always.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate all your support.
Appreciate you, Jack, and we appreciate your friendship. And hey, we want to remind you, stay around, go to the refrigerator, get you a beverage, and come back. We got more Talking to the Town right after this.
The only prediction I'd make is I'd be pretty willing to bet I won't be doing it in 20 more years.
My question is, where's our residual checks?
144 have taken Republican ballots, and Wes and 2 others have taken Libertarian ballots.
Pravda, however, TBS, however.
Wes.
Well, what?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
For many kids, just showing up to school is a challenge. Staying through graduation is even harder. So at communities and schools, we do just what our name says. Our staff brings a community of resources to meet each student's needs right in their school, doing whatever it takes to keep kids focused so they see what we see, a bright future. Join in at communitiesinschools.org.
I am Noel Tillman II, and that is Gregory Tillman.
Can I call you Dipsy?
Yeah, sure. My wife calls me that all the time.
Really enjoyed you in Deadpool 2, and I'm glad that you took the time out of your busy schedule to be seen or unseen.
Tim, do you know? Do you happen to know?
I think he's working on his resume.
He like duct tapes rides together whenever they're starting to fall apart. Super sketchy.
Like Ghost Town, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then the theme parks.
Today I'd like to make everyone aware of the risk of skimmers. First, let me tell you what a skimmer is. A skimmer is a device that is often installed at a gas pump that is used to steal credit card information. When you use your card at the pump, a skimmer is disguised to look like a card reader and collect both card and PIN numbers that can be used to replicate and create counterfeit cards. Now let me tell you some of the best practices to protect yourself from skimmers at the pump. Always ensure that the tamper tape at the pump you're using is intact. Skimmers are installed inside the pump housing, and this tape ensures that the pump has not been opened. Always try to use the pump closest to the entrance to the store. Skimmers are often installed at the pump furthest from the store and the camera systems. Pay inside whenever possible. Cover PIN pad when entering your PIN number to protect against pinhole cameras.
Welcome back to Talk of the Town right here on C19 TV. I'm glad you got you a little beverage at the break, and we'll remind you to check out our new website, our new look of our website, c19.tv, and all of our programming. But now, so great to have Kim Duran, Executive Director of the Broad River Greenway. Kim, it's been a while. Welcome back to Talk of the Town.
Well, thank you for having me.
Kim, wow, Broad River Greenway. We're going to talk a little bit. There may be, believe it or not, a few viewers. May have some new viewers to the county that are saying, "What is the Broad River Greenway?" Kim, talk about the Greenway. There is so much to do. It is such a beautiful place. Tell us a little bit more about the Greenway.
I am always happy to talk about the Greenway. The Greenway's been around since about 1994.
Wow.
We are 1,500 acres.
So 30 years.
Almost 30 years, yeah.
So 1,500 acres.
15 miles of natural surface trail, 4 miles of river frontage with bank fishing throughout the park. You do have to have a fishing license. Sorry, that's not my requirement. That's the state's. Cleveland County residents are free. But you do need a pass. You do need a resident pass that shows that you're a Cleveland County resident, simply because we charge out-of-county residents.
Yeah.
This is a county-owned park. We're owned by the county and the town of Pulling Springs, and we want everyone who uses it to contribute to its upkeep so that all the burden doesn't fall on Cleveland County residents.
Sure.
So county residents are always free, but we have recently increased our fee for out-of-county residents. It's still very reasonable, but it is now $10 per car per day. There is a year pass that you can come pick up, that
Sure.
if you come more often and it's more economical for you, you can do a year pass for an out-of-county resident. But yes, it is $10 per car per day. You can leave and come back. So, but our county residents are always free, as well as Cleveland Community College students with their parking pass.
Yes, and I try to tell a lot of our students about that as well. A lot of people just don't realize, Kim, how much there is to do at the Greenway, and you just talked about it. The trails, I mean, it is you can spend a whole day there, as you talked about.
You can spend a whole day. There's picnic tables, there's grills, there's, if you have children, there's a shaded playground that is wonderful. During the spring and fall, we do programming out of a 1850s authentic log cabin that is native to Cleveland County. It was originally on Beeson's Creek and Kings Mountain. It was donated to the Greenway, and we moved it over log by log, just like a Lincoln log set. So it's a beautiful Pfeiffer cabin that we do programming out of. We do the Easter Bunny out of Pfeiffer cabin, always Palm Sunday before Easter, and then we do Santa in Pfeiffer Cabin, always the first Sunday in December. And if you've not experienced one of those two events, those are our signature events. And there is just something incredibly special about seeing Santa with a fire in the fireplace and the log cabin decorated, and to hear the handbell choir from Poplar Springs Baptist Church
Wow.
playing carols on the trail.
I bet that is
It
awesome.
it is truly unique, and you cannot replicate that in any mall or and we
Absolutely.
have a fantastic Santa. He's just wonderful.
Yeah, and that time we'll be talking. We'll have you back later in the year, and it'll be time to talk about that before we know it.
Exactly.
So before we get into what's coming up, and you got a lot of great events in May, and we'll talk about so many great things to do at the Greenway. I mean, obviously the trails, but we'll talk a little bit about the water and all the aspects of that. But how's the year been so far? I know obviously we've had a little bit of rain as well, but how's the first 3 or 4 months been at the Greenway in 2024?
The first few months have been absolutely wonderful. We've seen increased attendance already because it has been so mild.
Yeah.
Our equestrian folks are probably a little frustrated with us because when it rains, we close the trails to horses for 24 hours after a major rain, simply because it does so much damage to the trails. And Mother Nature has just not been kind to them this year, and it has rained just about every weekend for them. So I am sure they are hoping for some better weather, but it's starting to bloom. We have just recently added a memorial wildflower garden through an anonymous donation.
Wow.
It is the Philip Taft Memorial Wildflower Garden. He was a botanist and a wildflower specialist, attended Gardner-Webb. And the sign has been ordered, and we have a beautiful wildflower garden coming along right there at the flagpole as you walk down to the river.
That's a great addition right there at the Greenway. I bet it's beautiful.
It is coming along. It's taken. This is a labor of love, and it's taken 3 years and a lot of patience from our donor and Mr. Taft's family. So I hope they are appreciating the fact that it has finally come to fruition, and the plants are established, and the deer and the rabbits have left it alone long enough for it to get started. So
yeah, that's a very good thing.
But we're already seeing butterflies and birds and bees, and we're excited.
Well, we're heading into May, and we may be into May, depending on when some people are watching this edition of Talk of the Town. And you guys have got a great event coming up to start out May.
We do. The Broad River Greenway is a nonprofit. You're looking at 50% of the staff right here.
Yeah.
And
we had to work to get you here because you're a busy woman,
So with 1,500 acres, there's always a lot to do.
Yeah.
So our next event is our quarterly cleanup day. It'll be May 4th. We start at 8 a.m. We go until noon. Bring water, bring work gloves if you have them, and wear closed-toed shoes. But we'll supply you with litter sticks to pick up so you don't have to touch anything. There'll be a variety of projects, everything from weeding the new wildflower area to spreading mulch. We need to clean Pfeiffer Cabin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just a host of activities for just about any skill level and any level of activity that you want to do. But that cleanup day is vital to us, and if you want to be more involved with Broad River Greenway and what we do and behind the scenes and help us make these things happen, we have a volunteer organization called the Broad River Yacht Club. And that information is on our website. It's on our Facebook page. So come join us. Come join us May 4th. Come join us in general. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a website, broadrivergreenway.com. A lot of great things on that website that we'll talk more about, what you've been mentioning about the club, the yacht club, and much, much more. Kim, obviously the warmer weather is starting to pick up. It's going to get hot in May, June, July, and that means people are going to be getting in the water, the Broad River, obviously, but part of that is safety. And sometimes we forget that, there seems to be a mentality that, well, I get into the Broad River and I can just hop in like it's a pool and have a good time. And maybe some parts, there's times, but that's not really the case. Talk about safety on the Greenway. Let's kind of cross over a little bit with that, Kim.
With 1,500 acres and 4 miles of river frontage, obviously we don't have lifeguards. So we are an enter the water at your own risk. We don't tell you it's safe. We won't tell you it's not safe. you have to use your best judgment.
Absolutely.
And you need to remember that it is a moving body of water.
Yep.
What was just to your waist yesterday may be over your head today.
It changes daily, especially in the summer,
Especially
depending
in the
on
summer.
weather and storms and many other elements.
And it may not even be storms
Yeah.
here. It may be storms in the mountains that have raised the river overnight, and the water has dropped back down by the time you come, but it's completely changed the dynamic of the river. And the other thing is that it is a big river. And believe it or not, there's a strong current out there, and it will take you downstream.
Yes.
So you need to be careful with your children. You need to be careful with yourself. You need to use common sense, just like you would anywhere else, and buddy system. And,
Absolutely.
And remember some key things: is to number one, not panic. Number two, float and hold on. People are around. As anybody who's driven over the 150 bridge knows,
there's somebody around.
There's somebody close by. Give it a second. Just don't panic.
Yeah, and of course, you see a lot of kayakers on the water from time to time. Folks that just like to get in and swim, but obviously, like you said, you want to be a strong swimmer if you're going to go that route. But I think more importantly, what you talked about, know your surroundings, know where you're at, and realize the way the water may have been. Say you go on a weekend, the way, it may have been on Saturday morning. It may not be that if you go back the next day.
Exactly.
It's a great point, Kim.
So, and please, I know it's fun. Rope swings are just so much fun, but please don't put rope swings up.
Yeah.
Again, for the very same reason, the river shifts, the river changes, and you don't know if that hole that was there last week is still there.
Yeah.
So, and that's why we take them down. Please don't put up rope swings.
Yeah, very good. As we get on into the summer and beyond, talk a little bit about the Greenway on into the summer and to the fall. I mean, I think you're going to have huge crowds again this year.
We average over the last 20 years, we've seen an increase from about 60 to 70,000 people a year to 115,000 people per year, and the majority of those come between Memorial Day and Labor Day.
Yeah, which is almost here. It's
almost here. So, we're gearing up for a very busy season. It's just beautiful down there. There's nothing that compares to being able to walk during the week and hear the sound of the frogs and the birds and the river rushing by. It's a great place to reconnect with your rhythm.
Yeah, and as you said, I like all the options that you have there. You've got the water, you've got the trails, you've got the picnic tables, you've got, if you just want to get away, and I even hear some people, after work, just get over there for just an hour before it gets dark, and that's a great thing because we're getting to that point of the year where it won't be dark until about 9 o'clock, and it's great to come even in the evening, right, Kim?
Exactly. I mean, that's one of my favorite times. It's early in the morning. We have a flock of turkey that come through the parking lot every morning.
Yeah.
That's great to see. For those of you who don't know, that's a raster of turkey.
Don't hear that often. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but we also have just a wonderful array of wildlife and birds. There's some great programs you can put on your phone to identify, but just coming and sitting with nature is so centering.
Yeah, it really is. It's beautiful. So Kim, we're winding down. We've got about a minute left. Again, for more information, check out the website, correct?
Absolutely. Check out the website. Follow us on Facebook. We are in the middle of a partnership fundraising event right now with North Carolina Environmental Educators. It's called Let's Grow Together, and it is specifically geared towards environmental education programming. So check us out. We've got some new videos on Instagram, on TikTok, on social media. We've put together some information on our educational programming, which we do throughout the year.
Well, Kim, thank you so much. It's going to be a great time. I've got to get over there, but Cleveland County, take advantage of the beautiful Broad River Greenway. And Kim Duren, happy summer to you. It's almost here, and we'll have you back very soon.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey, story ideas, check them out. Info at c19.tv, where you can give us ideas on future shows. I've been Tim Foster, and we'll see you again next week on Talk of the Town.